Good morning. A while ago I was sitting here on the Beneva roadside when the former stepfather, the old man who one time some years ago decided to start describing himself as your queer old man, decided to start harassing me. I was just sitting here on the roadside near Torrey Pines, and he got into he used to hear sound. He's very technical. You know, he used to have an aircraft parts business and was very skilled in electronics, etc. So anyway, he gets into East of Me sound, wanting to again emphasize being very queer, and then says the words when he detects that I'm getting irritated back at him again. He says the words, "Now we're going to install this operation all the way in." And what he's about is from when I was in high school, 50 years ago, when one day I had a little bit of a difficulty because I had one of his daughters sitting on my shoulder, and I wanted to be sure and just make sure she got off my shoulders gently. So I bent forward so her feet would touch onto the couch. And at that time, a painless rupture occurred in the right side of my groin area. So anyway, I ended up having to go in for a hernia operation. So anyway, the former stepfather decides to secretly use the hernia as a port of entry or whatever to install into me, and also into he says that they did something into my throat, etc. So now it's 50 years later, and I hear him stalking and harassing again, asking it as though, okay, now after we've done this to you, Ralph, for 50 years, we're going to install this operation all the way in. So I don't know exactly what he means, but what he was, obviously, is he started something very subversive against my life way back when I was in high school in 1972 in Sebring, Florida. I had said before that the operation was done in a hospital, Avon Park, Walker Memorial Hospital, and the doctor of the proceeding was Dr. Waters. I was told after the operation that somebody else that they didn't tell me the name of actually performed the operation, that Dr. Waters didn't do it himself. They didn't say exactly why. But when I asked after the operation, when I went back for an exam, when I asked them why was there a pain in my throat, the man who interviewed me just looked kind of quizzically amused about it, saying, "We had to stick a tube in it." So anyway, I didn't really understand that anything could be secretly done into a person like back then, and so I proceeded without any knowledge of anything of any significance being done into me. But of course, Bill Love, the stepfather, knew. He paid for the operation, and I think a significant detail that I didn't learn of until many years later was that when I ended up joining the Navy in the summer of 1974, a couple of years after the operation, the entry day for me entering service was scheduled for January 6th of 75. And many years later, as I was researching other matters, I learned that January 6th was the same day that the Walker Memorial Hospital had opened years before, sometime in the, I don't remember what year exactly, 40s or 50s. So when I started to learn about the various details, it kind of tells a story of Bill Love's subversion, stalking and following me around with all kinds of different intents. So I'm going to make a series of messages about the matter. This is the first, and I think it explains it. I think it's going to explain a lot. So anyway, in the interim, as always, I'm always for everyone continuing to have security and our nation continuing to exist, and hoping everyone's having a peaceful day.